Hi everyone, welcome back. Last time we learned about variables. Today we're exploring data types, the different kinds of information Python can work with, or different kinds of information that variables can have as a value. So just like you have different containers for different things, a bottle for water, a box for cereal, a wallet for money, Python has different types for different kinds of information: text, numbers, true, false values. Um, just like the difference between counting things, measuring something, writing a name, or even just knowing if a light switch is on or off, Python needs to understand these differences too. It helps Python know what operations are possible. In this video, we'll meet four fundamental data types: whole numbers, also called integers; numbers with decimals, also called float; text; and simple true or false values. Let's think about these four kinds of information. So on the left, we have the whole numbers, also called integers. So the number of apples, you count them one, two, or in this picture, three. So they are whole numbers. In Python, they're called integers. Or for example, number of players in football equals 11. Remember, we are assigning 11 to this variable name. This is a whole number, or from now on, we will call them integers. Or number of items in an empty shopping cart, it could also be zero. Zero is also a whole number. And on the right, we have examples for float numbers. For example, the amount of water inside a glass could be 1.5 liter. So it's not a whole number, it has decimal. Or your weight could be 56.8 kilogram. Or as another example, you buy bread for $1.75. So uh, these examples show two types of numbers: whole numbers, which we will call integers, and numbers with decimals, which are called float. Next, we have Boolean data types. Boolean data types are very simple. This data type has only two values, true or false. For example, in the picture, we see that the light is off. So if we have a variable that is called light on, it has the value false in this example. Or as another example, a door can be locked or unlocked. So only two possibilities, true or false. Or if you're shopping from Amazon, an item can either be in a stock, so true, or out of stock, false. Very simple. And finally, string, which we have already seen it in the previous videos. Um, is basically text, string of characters. For example, a variable called my sentence holds this will be all text, or city between double quotations. So anything between double quotation marks, such as this example, city equals New York, or even single quotation marks. Python uses these interchangeably, so you can pick whatever you like. And this will be a string. So in this example, for example, this phone number has inside the string has numbers and dash, but since it is wrapped with single quotation marks, this is the whole thing is a string. Now, before we jump into hands-on practices, I would like to emphasize the importance of data type. Now, let's revisit the plus sign to see why data types matter. With numbers, integer or float, plus sign, for example, in these examples, performs mathematical addition. For example, 3 plus 2 is 5, or 3 plus 1.5 is 4.5. But with string, so if the data type is a string, then the sign symbol performs concatenation. For example, hello plus world will be hello world. Same symbol, different behavior based on the data type. All right, I've got my Jupyter notebook open, and let's dive into trying out different data types. I'm gonna create some Python code cells. So let's start with integers, whole numbers. For example, count is 10. I'm gonna also create a float number. For example, price equals 8.99. Now we can print them. So print count. And then I will print price. Let's do this. Let's run. And we will see the first number that was printed was. So Python will start running this cell line by line. So the first print that we will have is about this count, which is 10. And then the price, which is 8.99. Now let me generate another code cell. Now I want to know what is the data type of a variable. The function or the command that you can use in Python to do it is called type. So we do type and then the variable name count. I will print it that we can see it. And then also I will print type of the price. So if we run, we will see that for the first print about count, it says that the class is integer. So int in Python means integer, and the other class is float. Let's create some more cells. So how about strings? We have seen the strings before. For example, we can have a variable called greeting. We can say hello Python. And if we print it, we will see its value. We can also just print the type to know what type it is. So now this is a string data type, and if we run, we see first Python printing our variable's value, which is hello Python. And then it also shows the data type, which is str, which means a string. How about Boolean variables? Let's make some Boolean variables. Let's say in a stock equals true. Another variable, sunny equals false. All right, it's not a sunny weather, so it's false. Now we can print them, these variables again. And sunny. And as you see, when I type the variable, VS Code already suggests. So for example, if I type S, it already brings some options. This is the good thing about using editors. So for example, then I can choose, go on the sunny, and if you hit tab, it will select it. All right, so let's also print the type of in a stock and print type of sunny variable. All right, now we run this. Let me print some just a line that we see the separation. All right. So first we see the values of Instack and Sunny, which is true and false. And then we see this print of stars, and then we see the data type, which is bool, which means boolean for both of the variables. Now let's see about the plus sign, plus symbol, and how it works, how it behaves for different data types. For example, if we have numbers, let's say 3 plus 4, we can also just, if it's only one line, we can also run this and it should also print it out. Yes, so we don't need to use print for in Jupyter Notebook. So 7 we will get. So the plus sign, when both of the variables are numbers, it just does a simple addition. But what if we sum two strings? So let's see how the plus operator works if we have two strings. So if we basically use the plus sign with two strings. So let's say I'm gonna print it directly. So let's say our greeting variable. I'm just gonna add something here, world. And if I print, you see we had hello Python, right? And it just concatenates the second string to the first one, and it makes it hello Python world. So we can make a space and it will look like this. So basically, if we have numbers, it will do a basic addition, while if we have strings, it will concatenate. How about, can we use different data types? Can we do like the count variable we had? Can we sum count with greetings? So what I'm trying to do is, this is a number, an integer, and this is a string. What will this plus operator do now? If we run it, you will see that we get type error, because Python is saying, yeah, this plus symbol doesn't support adding, it doesn't know how to basically add integers and strings. It also doesn't make sense. So we get an error. But if it was a count with, so the count is integer, we can even add it with a float number. So this will work. If it's an integer, if both are numbers, Python knows how to add them. Basically, the result will be also a float. One more thing about booleans. Let me, for example, if like 5 greater than 3, if we run this, we will get a boolean value, which will be true. So 4 equals 4, this will also be true. But if we have like 4 equals 3, this will be false. So if we have any comparison, the outcome is a Boolean value, basically. So today we have worked with 4 basic data types: int for whole numbers or integers, float for decimals, a string for text in quotes or double quotes, and bool or boolean for true or false values. We used type to identify type function, to identify them, saw how plus symbol works differently for numbers and strings, and experienced the important type error when we try to use the plus symbol with an integer and a string, and even got a glimpse of how comparisons result in booleans. Experiment with these, create your own variables of different types, check them with type, print their values, and see what happens. Getting comfortable with these basic types is key to programming in Python. I'll see you in the next video.